Hey, everybody. This is Kris Roglieri, CEO of Commercial Capital Training Group. And in an effort to provide clarification on our process here, I've pulled in some wonderful employees to help explain the process of from when docs are sent from our staff here to when you engage with our staff and start the wonderful journey of establishing your business and eventually coming to training. So, with that being said, I'm going to introduce everybody that I have here. First off, I want to introduce our wonderful executive assistant, Christina Green.
Hi, nice to be here.
Hi, Christine. It's your first time here?
It's my first time.
It is. Okay. And this is not her first time. She's a veteran at this. Jenna, the Hammer Hanson.
Hi, everyone.
The associate marketing director of the finance marketing group.
Good to be here with y'all.
Yeah. So I think the reason we're all here is because Christina, you get a lot of questions on what happens after someone says, okay, great, I want to come. Mm-hmm. Pick it up from there. So what's the process really quick of what happens when, Mike Geisler gets the word that they want to come to training?
Sure.
Talk about that handoff and what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is Mike informs me, so-and-so is ready to come to class. He's yours now. So what happens from that point is I reach out to them, ask them, what package are you looking to come as? Are you bringing a guest with you? And from there, I then draw up an attendee agreement for you, get that sent to you along with some other details about class, as well as a payment date that is required from you in order to attend an upcoming class. So with that being said, we make it very clear, this is a date that you have suggested is going to work for you. So let's try to work together to get documents sent to you, back to us, as well as that payment as well.
So, okay.
Yep.
And so, and I think where sometimes there's misconfusion is with regards to the payment date. When a payment date is established, yep. Right? Talk about what happens when that payment is made. Maybe we can shift over to Jenna because that's kind of your department. Once a payment is made, what happens?
Yeah. So once a payment is made, Christina sends out a congratulations, your payment's been processed and welcome to the family. And in that, she includes a little note that I'll be sending them the marketing engagement form. So you'll receive the marketing engagement form, which you'll need to fill out in order to trigger my team. So, if you're thinking about coming and, you're pushing your payment day out because, you might not be sure or anything like that, it's just important to keep in mind that you don't engage with the marketing team. So that means we don't start your logo, we don't start your website, your business cards, everything that you're going to feel like you need to start your business until you make that payment. So once that payment is made, I'll send you the email with the marketing engagement form. Then once you send that form in, that triggers us to get started on that stuff. So it's really good to make sure if you're planning on launching your business as soon as you're done with class to engage with us is as soon as possible, which means making your payment as soon as possible.
Yeah. And I think that's where, I see it from my standpoint because when people leave after the training, they're excited. And what's the first thing they say? My website going to be up on Monday, when training's done on Friday. And I think that's why we're doing this. So people can get a realistic expectation and motivation that if they do want something as close as Monday, not all the time, but that they're in a queue, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys want to explain about that queue because our classes have gotten larger and, there could be 15, 20 people in a class. And your team, Jenna, starts working on that collateral, those assets by order of which the payment comes in and that marketing engagement form is filled out, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So the marketing engagement form will be very key, but like I was saying, you don't get that form until you pay. So we'll send that to you and then everything is done based on engagement form. So if you pay in January, but you don't give us your engagement form until February, we can't begin. Now, if people make payments close together, we do start working on that, and then if they make payments close together and they send their engagement form around the same time, we work on that based on payment date.
Right. But in fact, if it all starts with payment, because they can't get the engagement form until they pay.
Right.
And then it's up to them to fill that engagement form out. And that kind of puts them in a queue.
Yep. Yeah. So, and also, I mean, like I was saying, you don't even engage with us until you make that payment. So you may have questions that you need answered and stuff like that, but you might not have access to us. So for example, people want to know about their business name or if they need to get a URL and all that kind of stuff. And, you're not really in contact with us until you make that payment and fill out that form. So,
and another thing with that too, is I know your team doesn't get engaged until that form is filled out. And just because you fill that form out and fill out NA to all of the questions, that doesn't really help you, because you saying you don't know what your business name is or what you want your email to be, that's not really helping you. So we always inform you that if you aren't sure, but you have paid, reach out to the team. We'd be more than happy to help you as well. Get that information established for you.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah. No. Just don't get it in to get it in.
Right.
Get it in the, obviously the right way. But, so, hopefully people will listen to this and understand kind of how the process works. Is there anything else you girls want to add?
Yeah. One other thing that I want to add is just that if you have a payment date established and you don't know if you're going to be able to make that date that we've talked about, that's okay. I just ask that you please communicate with myself or Mike as well. So that way we have a general idea of what to expect from you. And that way, Friday before class, we're not saying, hey, are you still coming? And that way we can also get you engaged with marketing as well.
Sure.
Sooner rather than.
And we get it. People like to inherently wait to the last minute because it is a large investment, and they don't know who we are so much, and there could be some apprehension there, which we've been dealing with for 12 years. So we get it. Certainly after the training, it's not a problem, but that step before. So in your case, we call it like Friday.
The Friday scaries.
The Friday scaries, because people call up last minute and say, hey, I want to come, and we need confirmation of payment before that happens. But I can say from my standpoint, when training is done, everybody has the same rush of get my stuff done, because now we've been validated. The lender's been validated. The opportunity's been validated. They went through, everybody's excited. They're happy. And now they just want to get to work. But then they forgot about, that email that you sent, and payment was delayed, and they could have maybe got it in a month beforehand, but now here we are. So it's always the early birds who really get to worm. And that's what this little episode is about, to try to, convey that to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just have one more thing to piggyback off of Christina, just in general about the success of everything from start to finish is communication is so important here. Communication is key. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. So as Christina said, if for some reason you want to push your payment date or you're not able to make that payment date, it's important to communicate that to her. But also on our end, once you get that engagement form, if you do have questions about your business name or anything like that, it's always better to ask us instead of, waiting for us. And then that being said, once the engagement form is filled out, I send out emails that are very informative about everything. And then if you don't read those emails, if you don't get back to us, we can't get started with that either. So communication is so key from start to finish. So just something to leave them with, that, it's important to communicate with Christina and beyond.
Absolutely. And another thing too, as Jenna's saying, make sure you read those emails that we are sending you. We don't send them just for our own well-being and our health. We send it to educate you and to inform you. So just take the time to read those emails thoroughly and educate yourself as well through the process.
Yeah. And just a quick reminder, what's included in the email that you send aside from documents?
Yeah. So there's an intro letter, just kind of, thanking you for taking the time to work with us up until this point. We also send a couple of payment forms as well, credit card authorization, wire instructions. So questions about those, always direct those to me. I'm always more than happy to discuss those with you as well. And then also just some further details about the process, and should you have questions, where to go.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anything from you, Jenna, or we're good?
Surprisingly, no. I don't have any final point. Usually I do, but
you usually have a final point.
I don't right now. Christina did a great job explaining everything.
What's your funniest, like, sending out docs payment story? Anything you can think of?
You know, people who decide Friday before class that they're ready to go.
Or Saturday on the weekend that they're ready to go.
Yep. Or I've also had a Monday morning of class week as well.
Now that's virtual. Yeah.
That was an adrenaline
virtual
rush.
changes the game.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But, you know, people who say they're ready to go Friday evening.
Yeah.
I'm at dinner. I get stuff out.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I'm not ready. All right. That's fine. Next month.
Well, and also too, it's, you know, it's weird. Human nature is human nature, but sometimes people look, if you change your mind, you don't want to come after you send docs, just communicate that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go to jail. You're not going to, no big deal. Okay. We're sad that you couldn't come, but our classes are large. So, and I'm not saying that like your business is not important, but just communicate that. Maybe you'll come at a future date, but just say, hey, for whatever reason, you don't have to just not call you back or respond to an email, just so we know, because we have to, you know, prep for certain things, obviously.
No one likes being ghosted. So.
No one likes being ghosted.
Let's not do that.
That happens to me a lot on the marketing side. I get ghosted so much.
Yeah.
It's hard to not take it personally, but
a little bit.
Well, change your name to Jenna Ghost Jansen. Jenna Ghost Hanson. Yeah. All right.
One of my favorite enrollment stories, real quick, is we had someone coming from Hawaii and they had never even talked to Mike. They emailed Mike and they were like, I'm coming. I've done all the research. They had to travel for like 24 hours to get here.
We're on a plane.
Yeah. And I think they literally were like already packing their suitcase. And Mike was like, okay, cool. And like, we all worked to get like the person ready to come. But it was just so funny because literally never talked to them. And that person was like, I watched every single tutorial. I'm coming. Or not
every video.
Testimonial. Yeah. And they're like, I'm coming no matter what. I'm coming. I have to know now because I have to travel for 24 hours. So that was really interesting and funny.
That's dedication.
It was. Yeah, it was great. And that person came and they enjoyed themselves and we were really happy we could work to get them in.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that about does it. Christina, thank you.
Thank you
for taking the time. Jenna, as always, thank you for taking the time.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Yeah. It's your first little podcast. So, yeah. So, all right. Well, everybody, I appreciate your time. Hopefully this provided some clarification on our process here. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can get the latest updates of news and podcasts and testimonials. Also, we just came out with our first ever CCTG app, which you can download if you have an Android. You go to what is it called? An Android store? A Play Store?
Google Play Store.
Google Play Store. Thanks, Joe. And the iPhone, you know, the App Store. You just Google Commercial Capital Training Group, and you can download our app. The good thing about the app, I'll just tell everybody, is you can get behind the scenes content that you cannot get on our website, and we're going to be doing some live feeds of our training, actually. So if you want to get a little sneak peek at what happens during our training live in person from my phone, download the app and you can see some content that nobody else can see. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.